This permit we will get, the water pollution control, we should get all in the same time frame as this one, so that we should be able to just roll right into it. But if we don't, we start up at 720,000 tons per year, not a big deal. They don't care if I mine it all in 1 month or 12 months. So I can actually start up at the 1 million ton per year rate, because I will have that permit before I run off. So this is not a showstopper. The new air quality control permit, we got a fortunate situation there, because when the permit goes in, they check for completeness, like Dennis said. They look to make sure it's complete, all the pieces are there. If not all the pieces are there, they give it back to you. Then you do it, we send it back again, they start over basically. Well, we were fortunate because they finished that portion of it. They had a break in the plan, you know, where the permit writer was going to be gone for about 10 days. And so we had an opportunity to upgrade that permit to higher levels without restarting the clock. And so we did. So we got that, we changed the numbers, added to it, and we were able to get that submitted before they started the next step of the process. So it did not put us back to the beginning. And so that's a major thing for us, because what I'll show you is we're going to move the crusher and it increases our potential. Okay. This shows, when you went up there today, you saw the leach pad. There's 3 cells. That's what that pile is. If we did nothing else but use those 3 cells and built up, we can go to a height of 105 feet, and that's because of the stability of the material when you stack it. Going any higher than that, then it could be unstable. And so we're only going to 105 feet total height. Well, in a 3-to-1 slope, for those of you that don't understand what that is, it means 3 feet up, or 1 foot in, 3 feet up, or you can go, 3 foot in, 1 foot up, I'm sorry. But we're going to go to 2-to-1, which we have done the test and it shows that it's stable. We can do that, but that would still only give us 1.5 years of operation. That's it. Once we put 1 million tons on it, we're done. You know. So what we did is we went through more reiterations, and this is where we're at now. We'll actually have 7 cells, and it gives us 5 years of operating, a little over 5 years at the 720,000 tons per day, or year, I mean. So in reality, we're about 4 years at the starter mine. We're going to increase our throughputs. To accomplish this, we're in the process of purchasing these 2 chunks of land. We were up the offices right here, and Merrill Crow up here. Crusher currently sits here. This is the old crusher. We will be removing that. We've purchased a new crusher. It's being built. It'll be here the 1st of October. We will install that up here on the new land that we're purchasing. What that allows us to do is add all this on for a heat bridge. So we go from 10.9 acres to 25 acres of land under heat. So that's where we get that added time.
What's that circle?
Okay, there's a home right here.
Yeah.
And so we cannot do, we have to stay 1,000 feet away.
In the blueprints I've seen, where does the bat leach plant go?
We don't have a bat leach.
It's not in the plan.
No, I didn't even know it was.
Where do you see blueprints? We never produced them.
Yeah, we're heat leach. There is plan in the future, but no drawings, nothing that potentially could be a mill. Treat high-grade ore, but we're not focused on that. Right now, we're focused on this. That's one thing I like about this company. That was one of the attractors for me. Like I said, they focus. Let's get that, then we'll get that, then we'll get that. And so those things happen. I've been with companies where they say, let's do all these. Well, they start working them all. None of them get done. They run out of money, and they're begging investors for more money. Who's going to give them money? You blew all that, now you want some more? We're actually going to start getting a return on that investment. Our goal is to have this thing operating before the end of the year.
The homeowner obviously knows the potential value of his home.
Huh?
He said the homeowner knows the potential value of his home.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. At some point in time, we'll probably end up buying it too. See what it does to our land. A lot of unusable land because of it. This gives you just what I did is put a block diagram together of what it takes for us to start from the drilling, blasting, loading, hauling, all the way through the crushing, You have an agglomerator because you take your fines and you make pellets. You add cement to it, and you make pellets, and that way it doesn't blind off. If you leave all the fines in there to create a seal, and your solutions wouldn't get through your heat when you're sprinkling the cyanide up on top. It wouldn't get all the way through. So you make pellets so it goes through. It'll actually penetrate the pellets and get the gold out, but it doesn't break down and you can seal the whole thing off. And then what happens is your solutions come out of the pond, or the pad. The whole pad is built on a liner, and so nothing can get into the ground. It goes through the heat on the liner, comes out the edges to the ditch on the liner, and flows over to the Merrill Pro plant where you add zinc. You add zinc, the gold and silver precipitate out. You filter it, the solution gets cyanide added back, goes back onto the heap again. It goes in a circle. The filter cake that comes out, the precipitated silver and gold metals, come down, they go through a drying oven. And that's when you add heat, that's when any mercury that's in it will fume off. And you run it through the retort, which is basically like a still. You know, it's a distillery. You pull the mercury back out, and then you sell the mercury. The material then goes into the furnace and you pour your doré bar. We don't separate the gold and silver here. We pour a bar that has gold and silver in it. Our bars will be silver because of the high content of the silver in the ore, about 10 to 1 roughly. So the bars will actually look like silver bars.
Yeah, so we'll make 20,000 ounces of gold a year. About
Gold equivalent. Yeah.
Well, say 20,000 ounces of gold a year, and about 200,000 ounces of silver a year.
That's right.
And that's kind of the mineral content that we get out of the ore.
Exactly. Very good. Thank you.
So is the ratio, in theory, if the ratio of gold to silver starts shrinking, and you get down to a 20 to 1, 15 to 1, then your gold equivalent ounces will boost up rather quickly.
Yeah. And we have some areas like that. This is just a condensed version of the plan that we have, putting this operation online. The actual Gantt chart is pages of all the projects and things that get done. These are the major projects. The receipt of the permits, we received those by August this year. We have the new crushing plant, arrives here the 1st of October. It shows when we ordered it until when we actually receive it. I mean, just actual months line. Mine design, that's right, I stressed that I'm hiring a mine planning engineer. We do have Mike Nord's working on the overall picture, his more strategic planning. But I need someone to actually put the tight plan together so I can make sure I'm buying the right equipment. I'm meeting with the equipment suppliers, various ones, on Friday. And so we can get that ball rolling really well. They're already looking for the equipment for me. But, and I've got test work being done, metallurgical test work. And I'll explain that to you because we have high grade, then we'll have a zone of low grade, then we'll have another high grade, and then the low grade, right? Well, if I want to mine across that face, if I have to mine selectively because the high grade doesn't leach well or doesn't leach at all, so it would need to go through the mill in the future, I'll have to have a smaller piece of equipment to mine that area up. So, but if it leaches really well, I can go with bigger equipment and just mine it all together. You know, but if it leaches mediocre, then I'll still put it on the heap leach, but I got to selectively mine it, put it on the heap in its own area. We'll leach it. Say we get 30% of it. Stuff runs 1.5 ounces per ton. So I get a ½ ounce per ton out of it. I'll take that. When we build a mill in the future, we'll mine that back off and put it through the mill and get the other ounce. But that way we get money now. But that determines what size equipment. So if the loader has to be somewhat smaller, then the haul truck has to be smaller. Because they have to match. A little small loader can't fill a big haul truck. One, it can't reach, and if you do put the extend arms on it, it takes too many buckets to fill it, and you're taking forever to load a truck. And so you want matched equipment. You want about 4 buckets to a truck is about right. Anywhere from 3 to 5. If it takes more than that, you're wasting too much time with your loader going back and forth. And so I have spec'd out 2 different size haul trucks and 2 different size loaders, and I've got various vendors working on those. We're looking at used equipment for the mine. One, it saves us money. 2 is the future open pits might be bigger. Very well could be than what we're starting out with, the narrow pit alongside the highway that you see, which would mean that I could go with bigger equipment. So I wouldn't want to keep all the small stuff, I wouldn't want to buy a whole bunch of brand new small stuff that I would have to sell for pennies on the dollar. So if I buy it cheap, I can sell it cheap.